Hi YouTube, it's Molly. Today I'm here for my week 62 post-op VSG update. We'll just get right to the numbers. Today I weighed in at 198.6, which is a 2.2 pound loss for this week, putting me at a total of 161.4. So that number is my lowest recorded weight. At one point I had weighed like in the middle of a week and saw 197. But as for my weekly weigh-ins and like official weights, that is the lowest number I've seen. So I'm kind of thrilled about that. I'm kind of thrilled about a 2.2 pound loss in a week, especially because my weekend was tracking free and full of guilt, kind of. I wouldn't say full of guilt. We went camping. There was a lot of protein involved. There was also carbs involved. I don't know what we can count as small victories, but I had open face s'mores, so they had half as many graham crackers. Small victory. And we did like mountain pies, and there's obviously bread involved in that, but it is what it is. The week prior to the weekend, I tracked pretty well and made really good choices, so that's probably where that loss came from. That, and I've been really good on water for the past few days, and I know that last week I had thought that I was retaining water, so that might have something to do with it too. But the past week I haven't had a ton of physical activity. The most I did was like really leisurely biking while we were camping. My back is just not having a good time, and I think I've gotten to the point where whenever I decide to go home at some point, try to get into my primary care, or else I need to find somebody to see up here, because it's just getting to the point where before pre-surgery I had problems with my back where it was fine 99% of the time, and then I would just like completely throw it out, and within a couple of days just literally not even be able to like get up from my bed to go to the bathroom, because it was just absolutely excruciating pain. And even if I tried and just gritted through the pain, it would like give out and I would be on the floor, because I just couldn't like physically hold myself up. Now it's no longer doing that, but it's this more chronic pain, like 60% of the time, and then within those periods of time where there's that chronic pain, like within this past week, for instance, it's gotten a little bit worse in that I can feel kind of like spasms and more shooting pain, more debilitating to the point where I can't really like go for a run or like a strenuous bike ride, and sleeping and all of that's really hard, and just certain times I'll stand up and it'll take me a few minutes to get my back going before I can like proceed on with the walking. So yeah, I need to go see somebody about that, because it's just I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I'm trying to stay active as much as I can, and I hate it because it feels like I'm making excuses, and I actually have a completely legitimate excuse. Like half the time this weekend, when I was like, let's go for a bike ride, let's just make it leisurely, Matt's like looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm like hobbling over to my bike trying to hold my back up. So it feels like I'm making excuses, but I'm not, and that's yet again one of those mental struggles that comes along with this game. So that is what it is. The only other things, MyFitnessPal, talked about last week, I upped my goals on there to 1,000 calories, which is 200 more than I had previously done for all of my journey. It has made a world of difference. And actually, since I changed my calorie goal, I've been staying under, with the exception of this weekend, I've been staying under that 800 now that I've moved my goal up to 1,000. And I really do think that not having that, like, that maximum right there, constantly stressing me out and making me, it makes me really think about every single thing I put in my mouth, but almost to the wrong level because it was just so close. And now I'm hitting right around 700 to 800, even though my goal's at 1,000. And when I had my goal at 800, I was struggling way worse. So yet again, another like completely mental aspect of this. I can't really explain it. That's my theory on why it's helping me. Um, but I'm just gonna go with it for right now. Maybe as things go on, that'll change. I'm not really sure, but right now I'm gonna keep it at 1,000 and see if it keeps working for me. But it's definitely been a positive influence in this past week and so far this week. So yesterday I got in I think 705, which is the lowest I've done tracking in a long time, even though my goal was up at 1,000. But anyways, that's enough about that. I'm back to wearing my Fitbit because I finally got it to sync, which is why I hadn't worn it for a couple months. It was just struggling hardcore with never syncing and never doing the software updates, and I just threw it and forgot about it for a while. But I brought it back and struggled for a couple hours and finally got it to update the software, which means it's finally syncing again, which means I'm wearing it again, and it's making me much more conscious of everything that I do yet again. So yet another positive thing going on. So I noticed some people have been like, "Yay, you're back," because I'm showing up in their um, little rankings thing. That being said, because of my back, my numbers haven't really been that great, but at the same time, I'm conscious and aware of how much I am walking, and that's a step in the right direction. And once my back isn't completely debilitating, we'll make sure it's always over 10,000. So besides that, those are the directly weight loss surgery related things. In terms of stress and travel and things that kind of are related to weight loss, but not necessarily directly related. Um, a lot of people ask me about all of my traveling all the time and how that affects things. I have yet again just made another change with my plans, so I'm not going home for August. I'm extending my internship through August until I go back to school, which is good and bad because I'm not making the change to go home, but at the same time, there are some things here that I need to learn to deal with, which I will talk about in a moment. The other change is that I might be accepting a co-op for the spring, so I might not be going back to school, or I might be going back for 1 quarter and then going to China and then going to a co-op for 8 months and then going back to school. I'm not entirely sure until I officially get that offer letter. But point being, yet again, as always, my plans are never the same, and what's new? The thing I mentioned before about, okay, so I'm not going home for the month of August like planned before, which is good in a sense because it's not yet again another change, which means not trying to adjust yet again to a new location and all of that kind of stuff, and all of the problems that going home brings me, like my father's chocolate stash. But at the same time, um, I really never planned on living with Matt this soon, and it definitely has benefits 98% of the time. We don't keep crap in the house. We're really good at motivating each other. And, it worked well because of my internship and I needed a place for a couple of months. Things that I haven't ever had to deal with before and are kind of contributing to some stress is never having alone time, which is one of the reasons why I haven't made a video every week. in a long time. It's been like every other week, and even then it's like when I tell him to like go upstairs or I try to like do one someplace else, and I'm just like, I just need Molly time. I need to make a video, or I need to just chill out. But like never ever 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 having alone time, like Molly time is so new to me. I have my own apartment at school for the past 2 years. Um, and I love that. Molly needs Molly time. I very much so have a personality that, like, when I need to be alone and just have some time to myself, I just need that time. And it's really, really, really hard to come by living with Matt because he works from home. He's here all the time. So I go to work. At the end of the day, I want to come home, but I also want to, like, not necessarily be with people. I need, like, Molly recovery time. I'm, I've got an engineering internship and I'm stressed out and, working 40 hours a week at my first like real engineering job in robotics. Um, Not necessarily any more stressful or less stressful than school, but as a general rule of like Mollydom, Molly needs Molly time. And that's just something I'm learning to try to find. Um, because I think it's beneficial to me. Sometimes I've tried to be like come home and like I'm gonna go for a bike ride for myself, which hasn't happened lately because of my back. But like then he always wants to come with me, and which is great and fine. Like it's supportive, and we both need to be active, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it feels like anytime I try to make Molly time, it becomes Molly and Matt time. Um, so yeah, it not necessarily weight loss surgery related, but it is kind of, in a sense, a source of stress that may or may not be contributing to problems with weight loss. Learning to deal with it. Um, I think that's it for this week. Hopefully that was a little bit more organized because I was only recapping a week. So we're gonna try to get back to a week, and we're gonna try to make Molly time. Um, so that's it for this week. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great week, guys.